Hello everybody, welcome to the Q1 2018 PTZOptics Partner Webinar.
Yes, welcome everybody to all our distributors, partners, resellers.
I can see
dealers.
Neil Weber is here from Starin. Thank you for joining, Neil. Always great to have you. It is a live show, so go ahead and pop your comments into Facebook or YouTube. We want to know your name, your company, and where you're from, so we can know who our active dealers are and really know, who's watching these videos, because it's important to us to get the leads to the right people, and we need to know where you're from to do that. So let's jump right into our webinar, Pat. It's 2018, can you believe it? We had a wonderful 2017, thanks to you, our partners, record-breaking years. The 20X SDI is the #1 selling pan-tilt zoom camera in United States and very widely recognized internationally. Patrick is now our international channel manager, and we're going to go into why our camera line has been so successful, really dedicated to you, our partners who are helping educate and sending demo cameras out and doing everything that makes this product line so great. A lot of fun stuff. What are we going to go over today, Pat?
Yep, we have a quick agenda. I'm sure these people can see, but we're going to quickly introduce the new channel team. We have a rough new structure, including the technical support team. We have a quick update on the NDI firmware. We have the producer kits and some application diagrams, as well as some information on our box cams. We always go over camera control. We have the Udemy courses, the outdoor enclosures, and some of the marketing campaign and
the live giveaway. Let's not forget that someone is going to win an NDI upgrade for their PTZOptics cameras. So don't forget to sign up for the upgrade, or sign up for the giveaway at ptzoptics.com/Q1. And you must be present at the end of this webinar to claim the prize, $300 value. Upgrade the firmware with a license key to allow these cameras to be seamlessly integrated with a single Ethernet cable to your favorite video production and video conferencing software. We're going to go over all of that. Hi, Stephen from Braca, Europe. Live long. Autocorrect.
Love it.
Okay, so let's talk about our dedicated partner team here. A couple changes in place here. We've got Matt Richards is now our admin. So he might be your go-to guy for new pricing, getting all the links and things that you need. And he's really going to help from an administrative standpoint because we really had a need for processing orders and doing things that were administrative. Yeah,
all the small emails and stuff that, hopefully we can get, pick up our speed and kind of still answer all your questions and get everything you need done in a timely manner. So Matt will hand up. I'm sure he'll still be out at some of the events, you never know, but he will be able to kind of
as we grow, we wanted to put a manager in place, pre-sales support, training, pricing, and availability. There's Matt's contact information and his phone number. So next is you, Pat. You've been now taking over the international channel.
Yes, and I want to thank all of our international partners for growing with us and making this possible. I will be reaching out to all of you individually. Hey Ahmed, how you doing? I will be reaching out to set up lunch and learns, schedule channel camera demos, channel enablement, making sure you guys have the marketing material you need. And anything else that I can do to help our international partners grow. That's what I'm here for.
So taking over the East Coast is John Reese. We actually have him here in studio. John is the East Coast manager.
Yeah, hello everybody. If you can hear me, my name is John. As Paul mentioned, you can call me JC as well. And yeah, with Pat moving to international, I'm just taking over the East Coast, and so feel free to reach out if you need any help at my personal email listed there, or also at partners.
Partners at PTZOptics will get you to the whole team in case somebody's out of the office. Maybe Pat's out of the office a lot doing trade shows. But next we have our brand new West Coast manager. This is William Golde, and we actually have a little video from William we wanted to share. He just wants to say hello and introduce himself.
Is it Golde?
and the video has stopped. So that's William there. Don't worry about that. West Coast dealer trainings,
He's great.
trade shows. He's a great guy. We didn't want to let him finish his sentence, but
he's so good. We can only take so much of it.
He's too charming. We couldn't let him keep going there. So next is we just wanted to introduce our support team. So we've got a really in-depth support team. We've got 3 people there now. Andy Chatfield is our lead tech support. He does ticket assistance, product compatibility. You can really reach him at support@PTZOptics.com. We've got his personal one there. He's been with us the longest. If it's a detailed thing that is really bugging you and you know it's pretty advanced, Andy's your guy. Next, we have Sean Regan, equally as capable, hasn't been with us quite as long, but he really is the knowledge base admin. So help.ptzoptics.com is where they're in there all day long, organizing the knowledge base, creating answers to simple questions, and really just submitting, helping your customers succeed with our product line.
Yep, and I know they're busy. It's all hell back there. They try and get back to everybody as soon as possible. I know the ticket system is their preferred method. If it's a simple question and you got to get somebody on the phone, feel free to give them a call. They try and answer as many phone calls as they can. If it's something slightly more complex that they probably need time to look at, go ahead and submit a ticket, and they will get back to you as soon as possible.
So one of the things about PTZ Optics is that we're a partner-first company, and that's why we have these webinars every quarter, because it's really important for us to let you guys know what's going on, why, and what we're doing for you. We have a MAP policy, which allows us to establish a dealer-first market strategy. We have turnkey deployments, and the professional audiovisual integration department is really important for us, and those audiovisual integrators we work with really are over the moon with our engineers and what they allow us to do with the Crestron and Extron codes already built-in modules. So you can really take the bull by the horns with your next project, and start off with all the modules so that your Crestron or Extron programmers are off to a good start, ready to go to control our cameras. Now, the other thing is, of course, we have a dedicated channel team, dedicated support team, but we've actually got a deal registration program to help protect dealers supporting our products in their next project.
Yep. Feel free to check that out. It has to be $10,000 US minimum for it to qualify, but it is there for our partners. It's ptzoptics.com/deals. It's a very simple form. Just fill it out. It gets emailed to us. We get it submitted to management for review, and then once they review it, we will follow up, give you special pricing, and that also gets you visibility on it as well. That helps us plan. So if you do have any large deals, coming in, that also helps us to make sure we have plenty of it in stock, and that we have it in our production capacities as well. So that's available. Once again, ptzoptics.com/deals, and that will allow you to register a deal and get it all set up real nice and easy.
Okay, so really important next step in PTZ Optics history is partnering with NewTek on the NewTek NDI. So we're going to go over, I got a video I'm going to share with you guys as I walk you through this, because I think there's a lot of great supporting imagery with this next video. But it basically walks you through, I'm going to try to walk you through within just 2 or 3 minutes what the NDI software is going to enable us to do. Not only does it enable multicast, and that's really one of the big things here, is it's going to open up IP-based video production and video conferencing workflows like we've never seen in the past. It's going to be available on all the PTZ Optics cameras, and we're going to have a whole new SKUs for cameras with it built in and already licensed for really easy deployment. And what I mean by really easy is a single Ethernet cable will provide power, video, control, and audio if you have audio coming in. So by deploying these cameras with a single Ethernet cable on a gigabit switch, you can do so much more. You can install these cameras so much more easily. SDI cabling is expensive, and it's really going to make deploying video easier. It's totally the future. And Mitch is from Starin is here, and I really want to get you guys involved with some of this video production opportunities out there, because there are live streaming studios going in at every major corporation in the world, especially in the United States here. We're really cutting edge. This is going to expand internationally and globally, but United States has always been really ahead of the curve, and we're putting money into video production, creating videos, and we want to eliminate the restrictions that are out there by, restricted by capture cards, restricted by cost, and make it easier to integrate directly into the customer's favorite solution, whether it's Open Broadcaster, which is completely free, or one of the more popular ones like Wirecast, vMix, or XSplit. Open Broadcaster has 40 million customers worldwide, okay? So just think about that. I mean, it's insane. vMix, Wirecast also have millions of users. Tell them that you just have one Ethernet cable to your camera for your live video production, and you've got low latency IP video and 1080p 60 quality. It's going to blow people's minds how easy it is. And of course, we can control the cameras. I mean, there's just so much involved. It is a little bit complicated to understand the possibilities. Let me give you one simple example. Let's say we've got a PTZOptics camera on the network. It's got the NewTek NDI. We're powering it over Ethernet. We're getting our video and audio into our broadcast switcher. And now we want to have a second live stream in Spanish. So we've got one in English, we want one in Spanish. Well, all we have to do is now the NewTek NDI cameras are multicast enabled. So no matter how many broadcast systems we have on our network, they're all available. It's not like a single SDI cable to a single broadcast switcher. No, everything can see everything. So now we can have a YouTube only stream, a Facebook only stream, a Spanish stream, a Russian stream. The opportunities and the possibilities for large end productions especially are going to be expanding, but even on the low end, the new IP workflows, for example, allowing a small production team to connect, maybe they've got one production switcher live streaming to YouTube and Facebook, and they just have another laptop. And that laptop now can, with multicast, view the other camera and control it with an Xbox controller, with their mouse. I mean, the opportunities for reducing costs and making things more powerful, it's really kind of mind-boggling. I'm not going to be able to go into it all today. That's why we created an entire free course. So if you go to udemy.com and search for the NewTek NDI, we've got over 1,000 students already taking this course, learning about paving a future-proof solution with IP video. It really is future-proof, and we're really excited to be part of this. We're going to show you guys how to enable NDI on all of our cameras, and in the near future, March, April, all of our cameras are going to be what's considered NDI ready, meaning all we need is a single license to upgrade it. And talking about marketing and being into the boardroom, one of the things I wanted to briefly mention is there's something called a virtual camera input. And what that allows you to do, and this is really mind-boggling, is on any Windows or Mac computer, you can create a virtual webcam of any NDI camera on your network. So if you're in a GoToMeeting call and you want to bring up a camera in Studio A, or you want to bring up a camera in Conference Room B, or if you just want to bring up the NDI camera in your office, you no longer need to extend USB cabling. Convert HDMI to USB. All of these things that were expensive and difficult to do will all be handled over your IP network. Now, it does require some networking skills, but to do this without the NDI would be very difficult. With NDI, it's really simplifying the ability to do a lot of this stuff that if you were to try to set up your own multicast network without NDI, it would take a full networking engineering course to learn about. With NDI, we're simplifying it so that it's a license key on the camera, free tools for you to download and your customers to use, very simple and already built into a lot of the software that your customers are using. So that's my 5-minute plug on the NDI. There's a lot to talk about here and a lot to dig into. Let's show these guys how to upgrade their NDI cameras.
Yep, and I think you're right, Paul. It's certainly exciting because, there's a load of applications here. Loads, and we couldn't begin to discuss them all, but whether it's corporate marketing, live streaming, standard broadcast, there's just loads.
It's a great way for the audiovisual guys to get into the really exploding live streaming and broadcast market, and for the broadcasting guys, for the broadcast engineers to start playing in the same world as the audiovisual integrators who are now bringing these NDI cameras into Skype, into GoToMeeting, into WebEx. It's essentially a PoE webcam Very, very interesting stuff. So let's show them how they can upgrade their existing customers' cameras, which is an additional revenue input for all the PTZOptics. Not this one. The next slide. This is an additional revenue stream for you guys.
Yeah.
So everything's going to happen over the local area network. Now, you know, a lot of IT guys might not want you to put a bunch of traffic on their local area network, right? So you may need to think about putting in a dedicated network switch or a dedicated network in general for your customers. And that's something that we're willing to help you with. NDI will run on any off-the-shelf gigabit network switch. You probably want to look into a PoE, Power over Ethernet gigabit switch, so that you can power all your cameras from that switch as well. But you need to know a little bit about networking, and that's why we have the course to teach you a little bit about it. Yeah. But whether you are on a local area network or on the customer's local area network where they're creating a VPN, a virtual private network, or a VLAN, basically splicing off a piece of the local area network for you, that is the way this is going to run, and it gives all that local area network connectivity, and then you're streaming to the content delivery networks in the cloud, or just connecting directly to a video conferencing software, which is increasingly cloud-based as well.
And capable.
So the next slide, this is going to walk us through. So these are just a few of the products that work with it. One of my favorites, now again, this is more in the broadcast space here, but Adobe Creative Cloud. This works with Adobe Photoshop. Well, not Adobe Photoshop, anything video related. So Adobe After Effects, Adobe Premiere. It works with Adobe Character Animator. It works with Adobe, what? Elements. And there's a couple other ones, but for post-production, for these larger production systems, the ability to have like the live video dumping right into post-production, very, very interesting. Of course, all the major players in the live streaming industry as well.
vMix, NewTek, XSplit, Wirecast.
And that's just a few of the
that's
players.
just a handful.
So these part numbers here are the NDI models that are going to be shipping before NAB in April. Until the part numbers are shipping, until these SKUs are shipping, we're going to be offering the NDI firmware upgrades for 50% off, which is $299, $300.
$300.
So if we go to the next slide here, I'm going to walk you through how to find your serial number and your MAC address. So here are the NDI camera models, a map of $21.99. And they're available in gray or white. These models are essentially our SDI models with upgraded firmware. Yeah. So you still have HDMI, you still have SDI, power over Ethernet, IP streaming. They're essentially the SDI cameras with the license already installed.
Yeah, we're not taking any features away. We're just adding to them, right? Which would be an NDI capability. So if you'd still like to hardwire your cameras, which I've had somebody mention that even though he's really excited about NDI, sometimes he wants that fail-safe.
Yeah,
so
totally.
It's certainly down to the individual engineer, but this is something we'll be adding on. And what we don't have here, and I know we've kind of missed some windows on our NDI, which things happen, but because we want to do it right, because we want to do it correct, once we do have it available, our box cams will be NDI capable as well.
Yes.
So that's exciting. So now that we've waited and we're kind of going to do it right, our box cams will be part of that NDI offering, which is exciting because that'll be a nice little.
I keep getting this question.
Well, the PTZ cameras work with 4K in the future. So we are looking into 4K options. I do not believe we're going to have any 4K models for NAB. I don't think we will. We may. But right now, NDI was incredibly important for us, and the price point, we're really waiting. Our motto is broadcast quality made affordable. Some of the 4K lenses and 4K image sensors are just a little bit above where our target market is. So as soon as the prices of the sensors and the lenses come to where we think we can make an affordable product under $3,000, we're really waiting to hit that price point where it will really kind of hit our market. We're going to definitely be bringing a 4K camera. I would say before 2018, but I don't think before NAB.
It is 2018.
Before the end of 2018, sorry. That's why you're making the fun.
I mean, so generally speaking, what I often tell people is that we're still kind of far from 4K in general, if you ask me. One, the price point wise, but you can't
all really, the infrastructure.
The infrastructure. You can't really stream in 4K. You can't,
You can stream in 4K.
It's extremely,
but it's
bandwidth
very
intensive.
difficult.
And I feel like it all trickles down to still loads of people have 1080p monitors.
Yeah.
So it's like, I know people are trying to future-proof.
It's almost there, and I understand the future-proofing thought. But you don't want to future-proof with a 4K image sensor that doesn't have optical zoom, or a 4K camera that they're promising digital zoom. It really doesn't pan out as well as you think. A 1080p camera with good optics and optical zoom will always provide a better image than a 4K camera that's digitally zooming in.
So in effect, we're already looking into those solutions. Once they become more feasible, once our product design team, who's very capable, very, very intelligent, once they think it's feasible, they will certainly have an answer for that question.
Gene's asking about NDI control for the cameras. Right now, they do have full pan, tilt, and zoom control, as well as autofocus, and I can't remember everything in there, but there's not as much as the on-screen display menu. It allows you to launch the on-screen display menu, or at least get to the IP interface quickly. The thing about NDI is it's really going to remove the need for a whole bunch of networking. You're going to plug it into your network, and it's going to be basically automatically detected by any of the softwares on there. And most likely, the software that you're using will have the latest NDI 3.0 functionality for pan, tilt, zoom. We're waiting for that to come out on a lot of our favorite platforms. It's pretty new, but the NDI Studio Monitor, which is included for free with the NDI HX drivers, will allow you to pan, tilt, and zoom the cameras right out of the box. Even plug in an Xbox joystick and take control very quickly and easily with no programming needed.
You would also be able to adjust some of those features over the IP interface if you had to.
Mm-hmm. So those are the NDI camera models and the SKUs. Our next slide will bring us to, let's see, what is our next slide here? These are the models that qualify for upgrade. So all of our normal models, plus, honestly, it's been taking us so long because we should be able to actually support every camera model, from what I understand, even Gen 1.
Okay, I think
it may just be Gen 2. We're waiting for that, but I know let's say every Gen 2 model for sure, and we might be reaching back into some of the Gen 1s, I'm not sure.
We'll double check.
We're double checking on that. Everything's going to be clear when the update is coming out, but Gen 2 definitely will have the NDI upgrade ready. And you can see here on this next slide, this is the part number for the NDI upgrade. And the nice thing is, it's just a single SKU. Basically, when you get this, you're going to have the ability. You're going to get a license key. You're going to get the firmware. You're going to upload the firmware that you need, whether it's a 20x SDI or a 12x SDI or a 20x USB. You download that firmware, and then you go into the Studio Manager, the Studio Monitor, and you apply your license key to that camera. So we're going to have videos on how all that happens. We're looking at just maybe 2 weeks from now to have all of this rolling out.
Yeah, we're extremely close. Like I said, loads of people ask us about it every day, and we're aware.
Now, if you haven't already done this, don't forget to go to PTZOptics.com/upgrade. That is where you can submit your serial number and MAC address, but let's show you how to get that serial number and MAC address on the next slide. So basically, your serial number is located right on the bottom of your camera. So that one's no-brainer, super easy. The MAC address is a little bit more difficult. You do need to go into the IP address of your camera on the next slide. We'll show you that on the next slide.
On the next slide,
you may need to go to PTZOptics back one. So you may need to go to PTZOptics.com/downloads and download the. This is only on Windows right now. I apologize for the Mac users. You do need a Windows computer to do this. If you just search for your camera, find the IP address of it, maybe pan it and tilt it just to confirm that that's the right one, and then the MAC address will show up right there. There's another way to do it. On the next slide, if you just go to the IP interface, you'll see that the MAC address will actually be on the network tab. If you've already got the IP address, pop that into any web browser, and it'll pop up right there. We need the serial number and the MAC address for your camera to get into our database and make sure that we can get it licensed for you.
Yep.
Now, There's a free online course at udemy.com/NewTek-NDI, and that's where you can learn a little bit more about what's possible for your customers.
Yep, we do have things great. You're not.
Gene's, Gene, I know Gene has been really pushing us to get it done, but I think he's still supporting us that we're making sure that it's working properly.
Yeah.
Gene's been testing a lot of NDI stuff and knows how finicky it can be if it's not done properly.
Yeah.
So we're making sure it's smooth and solid before release.
And we're very close. We are very close, and trust me, we look forward to making the announcement as much as you guys look forward to receiving it. So we should be just days away, hopefully.
So next, the next slide is going to take us into some of the more detailed information on the product line. Thanks for sticking with us, guys, and don't forget about that live giveaway coming up soon. Now it's time to show the PTZOptics Producer Kit video. So the Producer Kits have been really fun for us. These have been really great products. We got a little video to show it off here, and these are complete live streaming systems where you can put any video production software on there. This is the Producer Plus kit, which we're going to talk about in a moment, but I have another video on the Producer Kit that was before this one that I think we hit by mistake earlier, but this is the Producer Kit. So this is either a 1 or 2 camera system. I think this is it here. Let's see. There we go. So this is the Producer Kit. So it includes an Intel NUC i7 processor. It's the Skull Canyon. A joystick controller, a frame grabber, 100 foot of cabling, and an audio interface that you can plug a microphone into.
Yep. Right. So the thought here is that comes with all the cabling you need, everything that gets set up. You're bringing SDI into your PC. The only thing you need to provide is audio. A lot of the times that's because,
there's already a mixer.
Yeah, they already have a mixer,
or
if there's a church or something like.
So many different audio setups. We're providing all the video and then the software that you like.
Yeah.
And the great thing is with this system is that we have free guides, free tutorials on all the major live streaming platforms, whether it be OBS, XSplit, Wirecast, or vMix. So if you're sending this to your customer and they're saying, I want to use OBS, you don't have to train them on it. We've got a free course that is included with this system.
Or if they're like, we're a Wirecast house, you go, great. Or we're a vMix
Here's
house,
a course.
great. Yeah, so.
This will work. There's 4 SKUs, so there's a 12X and a 20X SKU. That's the base kit, the Intel NUC, everything you need with a 12X or a 20. And then there's the 12X add and the 20X add. So if you're buying the base kit of the Producer Kit, it's a 1 or 2 camera system. Luckily, a lot of our customers were saying, hey, I want 4 cameras or more. We can now have the Producer Plus kit, which I believe is the next slide, and we'll show how these are being used for anything from like little live streaming shows, even live streaming sports, and even we're showing, here's the 20X, or sorry, the 4 camera system, even like big concerts, churches, and even like big marketing press releases and things.
Yep, concerts, shows, even some sports, people contact about sports. The Producer Plus, right? So just a quick note between the Producer and the Producer Plus, which is the next slide possibly. Right? So that is one more.
Okay, this is the application diagram really quickly. This shows how everything's connected. So we've got USB from our audio interface, which plugs into your microphone. We've got the NUC plugged into 1 or 2 monitors, got 2 video outputs. We've got the frame grabber plugged in via USB 3, which still leaves you a couple USB 3s. There is a keyboard and mouse that's used. The camera is plugged in via RS-232, so there is no IP network set up here. If you're looking at the NDI, that's a totally different thing. This is really off the network completely, which I prefer sometimes when I'm going mobile. But if your customer's more advanced or you're more advanced and you're setting this up yourself, you may actually want to go with your own custom setup with a network, or use this with a network switch, because obviously the cameras are network capable. We have an IP joystick. This was set up to be like dummy proof. Everything's serial. There's no IP addresses to set up.
Yep.
It's just plug and play. Then our next, I think, question here. That's the 2 cameras. So just all we did was add a camera and a daisy chain cable.
Right. So here is our Producer Plus, right? So you have once again, you have the Producer and the Producer Plus, right? Not to get them confused. The Producer is up to 2 cameras. The Producer Plus is up to 4 cameras. Similar mentality here. You have the Producer Plus 12 or the Producer Plus 20, right? And that is your base kit with 1 camera, PC, joystick, and this 4 SDI input card. That's the Akishio box. Marty, I'll get there in a minute because we do have an international offering for the kits now, which is nice.
Yes, finally.
Right, so Producer Plus add 12 and Producer Plus add 20. So basically, if you wanted a full 4 camera setup, you would get the Producer Plus, let's say 12X, and then you would get 3 Producer Plus
Add 20s.
Add 20, add 12.
Or 12s.
Right. And
Wonderful. And those are available for international now?
We have made them international sans PC.
Okay.
Right, and we do have it on the price list up here. The main thing we can't do, or they wouldn't let us do, is support the Nook internationally.
Got it.
So what we'll do is we'll work with our partners that will have everything ready in a box, and they can purchase the kit available, right, for our resellers, and our international dealers and stuff. But they'll just have to source their own PC. A couple benefits here is that, one, then it'll be available for local support. Right, so it'll be supported in Sweden, or it'll be supported in Malaysia, or it'll be supported in wherever you buy the Nook. Right, so you can source the Nook yourself, and then it'll have all the parts needed to work with our equipment.
Awesome. That sounds great. Let's get on to our next slide here because we're just getting ready to finish up. This presentation here shows the SDI all coming into the we're calling this the external PCIe Akishio box, and then that plugs in via Thunderbolt directly into the Intel Nook Skull Canyon. So all of your video. Now, really quickly, I want to mention 3G SDI is 3 gigabits of data per SDI, so it's totally uncompressed video. With the NewTek NDI, it's a compression called NDI HX high efficiency, so it's only 10 megabits. So with compression, there obviously is a loss of quality. It's very minimal. You can barely notice it, especially since most of this content is being streamed out to the cloud and compressed anyway. But with this system, it is totally uncompressed. So for those, I'll call them video snobs, if you will, who want to have everything untouched, uncompressed. I'm a video snob a little bit sometimes. Maybe you want to have all 4 of your cameras being recorded at once for post-production. You know, a lot of people who do post-production, they don't want a compressed, streamed version of a video. They want the uncompressed, highest quality possible. So this system does provide, and it can support 4 cameras, streaming, recording, and actually bringing in a video caller. We've done a lot of testing. These Intel Nook Skull Canyons are incredibly powerful. That's the way it's set up there for 4 cameras.
And Chris mentioned how does our Nooks stand up to the vMix reference kits. We had our engineers build out the Nooks specifically for these live streaming applications. So I don't know how it compares directly with the vMix kits, but it should be comparable. You should be able to take our specs, which are on the website, right? They should be on the website under the data sheet, and you can compare them to NewTek.
vMix does like to have an NVIDIA graphics card enabled and set up. With the Skull Canyon, it is incredibly affordable, and it does not have a built-in dedicated graphics card. Intel uses what they call Iris graphics, which is built in to the processor, but it's more than capable of handling literally 4 cameras, streaming to multiple destinations, and running the vMix multi-quarter. We did all of our testing with vMix. So it's more than powerful, but it's not probably going to stack up with the normal vMix reference systems, which include that beefy NVIDIA graphics card. We didn't feel like it was needed with this setup because that Thunderbolt cable, which is actually what vMix uses for a lot of their 4-camera systems, is they suggest the AJA 4K I/O, which connects via Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt can do up to, I believe, 30 gigabits per second. Very powerful, but that's the way it's being done, transferring all that data over Thunderbolt directly to the processor, bypassing any need for a graphics card.
There's NDI to stream them. With IP joystick.
We do have plans to have a all IP producer kit. As you can imagine, that would be really amazing with the NDI firmware that we've talked about. So yes, that is coming in the pipeline, not for Q1, but hopefully I would hope for Q2. These systems right now, as we're talking about, totally off the network, no networking skills needed, but I can definitely see in the future a IP-based producer kit that's going to reduce costs and increase capabilities with deployment. With these kits, which is really nice though, you get all the SDI cabling, you get all the serial cabling included, so we're staying totally off the network. This is the way people have been doing video production for 20 years. Literally, the coax cable has not changed. So yes, we do want to come up to the IP world in the future, but these are just tried and true, can't screw it up, it's going to work forever products that have just been stood the test of time.
Yep. On our next slide here.
Okay,
All right.
so PoE. We want to talk a little bit about the Z-cams really quickly. These are becoming so much more popular, and the reason why is because we want to add a secondary camera. In fact, even in this production right now, I believe we've got a little behind-the-scenes camera right over here that we can briefly show you, I believe. But what it allows you to do is just bring, when you're building these live streaming studios and different spaces, it's really nice to show like an over-the-shoulder camera and bring people into your video production. I can't tell you how many people are setting up live streaming studios, and when it comes down to bringing that professional level up a notch, it comes down to the behind-the-scenes cameras, the extra cameras, bringing people in to your video production space. So these cameras have been super great. We've got a 20x Z-cam, and this has been incredibly popular for pairing with our 20x PTZOptics. So they're the exact same lens, so they color match really well. Power over Ethernet, 3G SDI, audio included, and then these cameras have a wide, it's a 120-degree field of view. So we've had retail spaces put these right up into a jewelry case. We've had these put right behind the scenes over the shoulder on a wall. There's so many different applications for these. Courtrooms love these.
Yeah, they're great for, an alternative shot, or what I like to call a shot,
supporting shot. Maybe.
Yeah, where you switch to your wide angle shot in the back, the pew or back of the church. You pan tilt zoom your other camera, right? You get the shot that you want, and then you can shift back to your pan tilt zoomed shot. So it's great for just kind of using as a supporting shot, and you don't need to if you don't need those PTZ capabilities.
Yes, and just a little bit long. We're almost through with this presentation, but power over Ethernet, you can get. So these are available. The Z-cams will have NDI capabilities. Very, very easy to use products being used in so many different live streaming studios. There it is shown with a PTZ camera. So you've always got that one shot to go back to. And with your PTZ, maybe you're following somebody on the stage, maybe you're getting a tight shot, and then you can transition back to an affordable Z-cam shot.
Yeah, and I think the VL with that super wide angle is perfect for those various scenarios where you're zoomed back of a church, wide shot of a concert hall or a mosh pit.
The lenses are interchangeable, and we include a very versatile lens which can do a wide 120-degree field of view and also zoom in 4 times. So you can really, it's a fixed lens, so you fix it on a spot and set it and forget it, and then you've got it there. But Raphael's asking, can you mix and match the Z-cams with the producer kits?
We don't.
You certainly could purchase one and plug it in.
We don't have any SKUs set aside for mix and matching with the producer kits. If that's the case, I would just say get the producer kit, right? Easy enough. And then just get the box cam SKU separately. And we do offer the cabling as well.
Yeah.
With the producer kits, you wouldn't necessarily benefit from getting an extra PTZ or one of those SKUs in particular? Because you would just need the SDI.
Yeah, you don't need the control cabling. So just purchase that a la carte. But yes, it certainly could be added, and it's a great option.
You can certainly run the SDI into the capture card part. So
now, speaking of camera control, we've got quite a few options. Every camera includes an IR remote control that can control up to 4 cameras. We also have a brand new IP joystick, which I have a little video I wanted to share with you guys as well on. Again, listening to what you guys have been asking for, there should be a IP joystick video. You guys are asking for quicker ability to switch between cameras over the network. And here it is here. We've got 4 different camera buttons for hot swapping. We put the zoom, focus, and iris all in there for you. And those 4 camera quick switch, I think, was the big thing that people wanted.
Yeah, that's one of the most requested things. We do have we have the focus and the iris control as well.
Yep.
So
1 Ethernet cable. It is power over Ethernet. The one thing I wanted to mention about this product, though, is that do not plug it into power over Ethernet and hardwired power. It's really one or the other. So if your switch is PoE, don't plug it in with the actual, it'll cause issues where it'll restart. So if you're having an issue where it restarts, just unplug the power. Your PoE switch is already providing power to it, which is a good thing.
Or alternatively, power it and then run it into not a PoE switch.
Non-PoE port on your switch. The iOS app is great. We've been having a lot of people buy that for use. Completely wireless control now. So as long as your cameras are on the same network as your wireless access point and your iPad or your iPhone is on there, that should be available for Android coming soon. Very great. It also works with outside IP addresses. So we have a camera on an outside IP address, meaning it's available to the outside world. You can actually control cameras and from a remote broadcast in another country or another state using an outside IP address. So it's crazy what you can do. If you watch our live show, you'll learn a lot more about some of these techniques, but it's a great way to control cameras. Maybe remotely control a broadcast for one of your clients.
Yeah, and it was a great app. It's got a lot of the features that some of our other joysticks don't have. So you can adjust the pan, tilt, and zoom speeds over the app. So that's nice, and the preset speeds over the app as well. It works great on an iPhone or an iPad. I would say I felt like my iPhone was kind of small, so I feel like an iPad, throw it on an iPad. It's $10, so if you are networking the cameras anyway, this gives a way where, somebody can go down and join the congregation and just control it from his iPad.
I know. You can't beat it. Calling presets wirelessly, as long as you've got a way to see what you're doing, it's great. Now, the next thing I wanted to show is our flush mounts. These aren't really new. You can pole mount the cameras. You can wall mount the cameras. I have a video showing the flush mount, and this has been incredibly popular because it allows you to very just easily and snugly install the camera directly onto drop ceiling or even a hard ceiling. Very flush and just sleek. It comes in white or black. So if you're putting it on a white ceiling like we're showing here, we might have probably chosen the white.
The white is popular for the ceilings, I feel like, but
it's totally universal. So it's been designed to fit a U.S. Or I believe European electrical gang box.
Yep.
So if you're going into new construction and you're asking them to put electric in the ceiling, it'll work
there it
for
is, US and EU hole patterns.
the hole patterns. There's safety screws, but now that the cameras are PoE, you may not really be putting in as many electrical boxes as you used to. But it's a great new product that has been very popular for mounting the cameras. I think that pretty much wraps up our presentation.
Yeah.
Let's not forget about the Udemy courses. We've got a Udemy course just on the PTZOptics camera. We've got a Udemy course just on a lot of the live streaming software we talked about, and then, of course, one directly on the NDI software. Here's a quick look at the MSRP pricing on the product lines. You guys probably already have that.
Yeah, no changes here.
Any changes on the price list, Pat?
No changes on the price list. We do have the NDI part numbers on there, as well as if you go down to accessories, you'll see the NDI upgrade, which is at $660, right? $600 map. You can see the PT producer kits and then the ad kits as well. And if we go to the next slide, you can see the producer plus and the producer plus ad kits as well. And then you can see the cables as well as our broadcaster heads.
One thing we didn't talk about is the PT Broadcaster. This product has been actually becoming quite popular. I'm just going to show it on the screen here because this is something maybe not everyone knows we have under products. Accessories, we have the PT Broadcaster. And this is something you'll see at NAB, something you'll see at Infocom we bring out with us. It's a pan tilt zoom broadcast head with top load and side load capabilities. Take a look at it on our website. This is for the broadcast market, but it basically adds pan tilt zoom functionality for larger cameras, and Blackmagic specifically has been a really popular promoter of this product. I'll just show it in full screen here. HD-SDI pass-through, so you can plug HD-SDI into your camera, pass it through to the broadcaster, and then control these pan-tilt zoom cameras, or control cameras that have pan-tilt zoom from thousands of feet away. Very popular in churches, very popular in sports.
They usually have zoom.
Higher-end productions. That's the Blackmagic camera, but cameras that are over the shoulder, big cameras that don't have pan tilt zoom, that it makes it easier for the customer to remove a camera operator.
Yeah. So the cameras that don't have pan tilt, right? They might have zoom, but you wouldn't throw a PTZ camera on top of a broadcaster head. But yeah, we've done loads of testing. If you go to the website, there's a list of cameras that are supported.
Compatible cameras.
Yeah, Sony, Panasonic, as well as some other cameras.
So I wanted to make sure we mentioned that because I don't think I saw it on the kit. International producer kit. Pat talked a little bit about that.
Yes, right? So very quickly, it looks like a lot of part numbers, but it's pretty much the producer and the producer add kits and the producer plus kits. You can see the ICG. I is our New Zealand and Australian partners. G is our UK partners. And C is our European partners.
Got it. So that specifies the power supply.
Yes, very, very much so. And then the producer plus kits. The main thing here is that they are sans PC, right? So it's everything that would come in the kit minus the PC because they wouldn't let us support it internationally. So I don't know if that'll change in the future, but if you are after our kits, if you can just source a PC on your own, and then you would be able to pretty much get everything else in the kit. Steven, there's no part number for the kit to be in gray, but I think we've talked about it, and I don't think there was any reason why we wouldn't be able to.
So you basically just let us know.
Let us know on the
custom
order. When you submit your order or your PO or whatever.
There's already enough part numbers there. Let's not
there's loads of part
double
numbers.
them all again.
Exactly. So we don't want a -WH part number for all of them. Just let us know, and we'll do that for you.
The next thing here we have is the outdoor camera enclosures. These are available through Dotworks. Now that people are using these for outdoor sports, soccer arenas, football arenas, just reach out to us. This is the part number to use, the D3-CD-HB.
And I know more people have been asking about this, especially as they get into sports. We've had people from, Little League baseball, Little League baseball, right?
Soccer.
Softball,
I mean, just the sports in general are going to become a huge market for live streaming and broadcast. Facebook is investing $1 billion in live streaming sports just in 2018, and they're not the only ones. Clearly, ESPN, and as it becomes easier to stream things and more competitive, anything from minor league sports to those smaller Olympic sports, everybody wants to get their airtime, and it's super easy to do so on YouTube and Facebook. So they need to have some professional way to zoom in and capture, what's going on the field. A lot of times that requires 2 or 3 cameras, no doubt. Yeah. And a lot of times it's an outdoor installation, it's a field somewhere, and these outdoor enclosures really help to do that.
Yeah, and you also have to think of the use cases where it's loads of people that traditionally wouldn't get this recognition, right? They don't get ESPN coverage. They're not getting a TV studio to come out and look, right? I think high school football, right? They don't. The coaches can use the highlight tape as well. They can use, Little League Baseball. I've had several conversations with people after Little League Baseball. And these aren't going to get ESPN or, the NFL studio to come out and live stream their stuff. But, the coaches need the video. parents want to watch their kids play. So there's, you know, and putting it up on YouTube and Facebook is a super easy way of making sure everybody can. There was actually at the vMix user group in Atlanta, we actually had some great input on one guy that was he was live streaming football, you know, high school football, and it was local ads, and he was, you know, doing a lot of interesting stuff, live streaming local high school sports in the Midwest there.
Yeah, it's definitely a great industry. Another one we'll be talking about if you follow us on YouTube or Facebook coming very soon is sports analytics, all the way from Olympics down to professional and even college level sports analytics. So the cameras are actually used to zoom into what's going on, whether it's swimming or you know, a golf swing, and they record all of that data, put it into the analytics, and we're actually integrating with the largest sports analytics company on the market, Dartfish, which actually is responsible for 98% of gold winners in Olympic gold medals from 2017, or I guess the last Olympics, 2000, I guess it would be 12, but the new Olympics is coming, and it's going to be a big deal, and the sports analytics is incredibly important. Follow us on social media. It's coming out very soon, the integration with our cameras directly with sports analytics companies. We've been working very hard to bring the sports market to closer to and more available to our audiovisual partners. Quick quick mention on frame rates. PTZOptics currently supports what's called full frame rates, meaning 1080p 60, 1080p 50 in Europe. If you're in Europe, you don't even have to deal with this weird scenario of what's called broadcast frame rates at 2997, 59.92. These off full frame rate, broadcast frame rates. We are going to be hopefully supporting new models with broadcast frame rates, but if you come into a situation where there's a Blackmagic switcher, try 1080p 60 with the new Gen 2 cameras. It should work. If it doesn't...
So does 1080p 50.
1080p 50 will also most likely work. 1080p 60 should I've seen work myself.
Okay. Just double check the supported broadcast frame rate.
1080p 30 should probably work, but if you're having an issue and you need broadcast frame rates, there is something called a decimator which will take 1080p 60 and convert it to 59.94, for example. Like if all of your other cameras are 59.94, it might make sense to turn the PTZOptics also to that frame rate. These are only $300, but we know there's a big need for it, and we're going to be building broadcast frame rates into new camera models in 2018. So, last thing we wanted to mention is the Facebook user group. I don't know if we can pull this up live. I think I'm going to pull it up real quick. One of the things that I can't believe is how often customers are coming into the Facebook. There's 5 people who want to join right now. But one of the things I can't believe is how often someone's saying, hey, you know, I'm in Michigan and I'm interested in getting a PTZ camera, or our customers coming out and showing, you know, what they're doing with the cameras. So some of your customers may actually be in here, but you can definitely meet tons of PTZOptics customers and tons of PTZOptics users here. So if you haven't already joined, join the PTZOptics user group. It's ptzoptics.com, or sorry, facebook.com/group/PTZOptics pals. It's on our Facebook page, but there's thousands, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of customers in here constantly showing you exactly what they're doing with the cameras, why they're buying PTZOptics cameras. It's a great place to learn more and meet customers in your area. You know, if you're part of this group and there's someone in Chicago asking if someone has a PTZOptics demo unit and you respond saying you have one, that's going to be your sale, and that's why we have this, to connect our dealers with our customers.
Yep, and it's all there for you guys. You know, once again, we try and make these platforms that are beneficial to our partners. That's mainly what it comes down to, is being able to make sure you guys are engaged and that we can offer you guys these support-based initiatives. So
we're really getting to the end here. We're going to pull a winner. I'm sorry it's been taking so long. Someone's going to win the NDI firmware. Marketing campaign in a box. So somebody is going to, or not, someone's going to win the marketing campaign in a box. This is available to anybody. Just email partners@ptzoptics.com. This has got all the pictures.
Pics, banners, logos.
All the banners, everything. And this allows you to join to get everything you need.
All right, next.
Next, upcoming trade shows, Pat?
Right, upcoming trade show. We hope to be at ISC Amsterdam. Hopefully we can get that done. NAB and Infocom in Vegas, both in Vegas this year. It'll be great. April might be nice. June will be kind of hot, but I think it's still at least better than Orlando. I don't know.
Right,
Y'all can debate me on
60
that.
seconds left on the giveaway. I'm just going to show you guys where it is. PTZOptics.com/Q1.
Partner resources, right? Although if you guys don't know about that yet,
this is where you can join the giveaway. There's 42 seconds to join. You can win an NDI license. We're going to pull up 3 winners. You have to be here live. And here we go. 30 seconds left. We're going to pull a winner here.
pressure's on.
You got to be here in the chat in order to win. This is when the NDI camera comes out. It's going to be included. We're gonna send you one of the very first cameras. So here we go. We're gonna draw one winner. You got to be here in the chat to win. We'll draw 3 times to give everybody a chance if the one person does not. So Christopher Kywell. Is Christopher here?
He was here.
Christopher Kewell.
Now, keep in mind, you do have to be a audiovisual integrator or dealer set up with us, obviously, to win.
Yeah.
So we'll have to confirm that, but he's from St. Cloud, Minnesota. Christopher, are you here? We're going to give you 60 seconds to chime in, or we'll pull a new winner real quick. But really excited about the NDI. Happy to give away a license to one of our partners here. And Tess is monitoring Facebook and YouTube, so we'll just give him 60 seconds to join. That's our show, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Q1 broadcast.
Yep, and once again, guys, thank you very much. You know, our partners and our customers, you're part of this in a very big way, and we appreciate it. So thank you very much.
All right. I think we get... Oh, Christopher's here. Christopher Kywell. All right. Thank you so much for joining, Christopher. I'm happy that you got an NDI upgrade. Woohoo!
Kywell.
All right. Christopher Kywell. Well, that's awesome. That wraps up our presentation. Thank you so much for joining, everybody, and we'll see you tomorrow, actually, on Back to Basics. We're talking all about sports live streaming and a little bit about sports analytics and Dartfish, so we'll talk to you guys soon.
Take care, everybody.